We all know that real estate's all about leverage. Go get the listings, which give you leverage, and then you can go get leads. One of the best ways to actually secure listings is to work with off-market properties, whether expireds, canceled, circle dialing, etc., but actually have a buyer. And I'm not talking about like I may have a buyer and I'm circling around, I'll check my database, and we have how like when you actually have a buyer that you're out working with, it's already been pre-approved, fully underwritten, and you're then calling homeowners within those neighborhoods to bring that buyer directly to the seller. This is a system that I've used to secure listings, and it's showcasing a client that I'm currently working with. These are the missing details that most agents step over, and this will make sure that you have the best opportunity to secure the listing, even if the seller does not accept the buyer's offer, or even if the buyer does not end up purchasing the home. Stay tuned. I wanted to share with you guys. So I've been talking to you guys about prospecting canceled and expireds for your buyers, right? And I've been harping on it about how it's a really good way to generate business and create leverage. And so I'm keeping you updated. I mean, I literally called last week. I did about 7 or 8 hours. I set 5 or 6 nurtures, but I found a lead going through. And all I did is I went into Mojo for one of our buyers, Elle and Justin. And I built a sub list with all the properties that are in La Mesa, Spring Valley, El Cajon, and a couple different zip codes. And I went through and I literally said, hey, what's up? My name is Josh Pono. I've got some buyers that are making offers in El Cajon. They're looking for a 1,700 square foot home. I saw that this property didn't sell last year. I was curious if you guys were still taking offers on the home, if we could line up the perfect price and the perfect time. And seller goes, one of the sellers goes, yeah, I'll look at an offer. I'd consider selling. Great. When can I see the property? I know I'm calling you out of the blue. Set an appointment to go see the property on Saturday, which was a few days ago. I went out with the clients on Saturday. They were very excited because, a lot of agents talk about finding off-market properties. And by the way, when I set the expectations, when I told them I was calling for them, I didn't make it like, hey, I'm going to go. I said, listen, I'm going to make phone calls. Let me explain the process. I will dial 6 to 10 hours looking for an off-market property. I will be calling homeowners out of the blue and asking them if they were interested in selling. Most people are going to tell me kick rocks because it's a timing thing. Some people are going to say, prove it. We're going to go look at the property, but there's no guarantee that it's going to be the perfect property. And if I set the appointment and leverage it, we got to go look at it at least. This is going to be in the ballpark. So then I called I let the buyer's agent know. It's like me looking for a needle in a haystack with a magnet, but the good thing is I got a really big ass magnet because I'm really good at what I do. I set the appointment with the seller. I went out and I met the seller wasn't there. He had a family member let me in. The clients, Elle and Justin, really, really liked the property. I got very, very lucky. They're like, we like it. We want to write an offer. So I'm now working on converting the deal, and it looks like I'm getting an opportunity to represent him on the next transaction. And here's what's going on. So when I called him, set the appointment, I then said I was going to confirm with it the morning of. So on the morning of, I called him. Hey, good morning, Mr. Abdullah. How are you? Great. Listen, I wanted to confirm I will be there at 11 o'clock sharp. Okay. And by the way, I'm sharing these little details with you because they all add up and I'm going somewhere with this. So for the newer agents in here, Aaron, this is how I showcase excellence. And I can only go off the reciprocal comments and compliments that I consistently get. And I'm going to tell you who this guy is and how he perceives me. And I'm going to share something with you very interesting that is very cool. But take diligent notes. Justin, Nathan, Surreal, like these are things that if you guys, this is first class, so to speak. I love when I get to use that. All right. With that being said, so I call him, I set the expectation. Listen, I'm going to be at your house at 11 o'clock sharp. I'm going to be there with my clients. I'm going to walk the property and then I'm going to follow up with you afterwards. And I'm going to make sure that you know exactly why they're making an offer or why they're not making an offer. So either way, you're going to get more information to help you move forward no matter what your plans are. Sound good? He's like, cool. That sounds good. By the way, at this point, he still thinks I'm full of shit. So then I go to the property, I walk the property, I call him back immediately after we tour the homes and I say, Mr. Abdullah, good afternoon. It's Josh Pono. Did I catch you at a good time? Do you have a moment for feedback on your home? By the way, everybody takes that call, but I still respectfully ask him for a moment of his time and make sure that I'm not just hey, guess what? I got a buyer. They're super excited. Like, I'm stepping into the process slowly and I'm dotting all my I's and crossing my T's. Did I catch you at a good time? Have I respectfully earned the right to have a conversation with you? He's like, yeah, absolutely. It's a great time. Thanks for following up. I say, here's what's going on. They like it. They like it a lot. In fact, I've been showing them homes for multiple months and they're so impressed that I found them this property and we're going to write an offer. Now, I want to let you know that I'm going to write an offer that I believe is compelling, that also takes into consideration the competition in the market. They are not, this is not a BS offer. This is a legit offer. They're fully approved. They're underwritten. They're no appraisal. They're large down payment. They're very, very, very clean because I've done an excellent job of prepping them. And he goes, well, listen, here's the deal. And he starts putting up the bravado. He starts talking about how, and by the way, the bravado was all like real. Like, it wasn't like sometimes it's fake. This guy was real. This guy, he's like, I'm an investor. I buy houses from the auction. I own multiple properties, Sacramento, Vegas, San Diego. I was going to do a 1031. So, and he's letting me know, like, so listen, I've dealt with real estate agents. He's putting up the, don't do the song and dance thing. I'm like, cool. Really excited to work with a very seasoned expert type of homeowner. This is going to make it even more enjoyable because I love working with experienced clients that value excellence. Right? Because he's going here and I'm going to go right there. I'm like, dude, I could play here. You want to tell me you're used to average? That's cool. I'm going to showcase. I know you'll value this. I know you'll see value in what I do. Okay, confident. And by the way, internally, I still have that thought, right? I still have that thought of like, man, what if he's worked with somebody incredible? And then I literally take that thought and I throw it out and I'm just like, I'm going to crush it. Now, he then says, so what are you thinking for an offer? I said, well, I'm going to review the comparables. I'm going to dial in exactly what's going on in the market. The numbers just came out. We haven't prepped an offer. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get you a seller net sheet. So not only will you know what the offer is, but you'll know exactly what you'll walk away with. I want to get you all the proof of funds, the full underwriting pre-approval. I want to get you a video from the lender walking you through the details of their file so you know with absolute certainty this buyer is rock solid and the agent is prepared. I'd like to present that to you. Are you here locally? Or are you out of area? He said, I'm in Sacramento. I said, fantastic. We'll do a Zoom. He goes, let's just do a phone call. I said, I appreciate where you're coming from. And I promise you this presentation will be worth your time. Give me 15 minutes. I want to make sure we're on the same page and all the emotions stay out of the deal. Is that cool with you? He's like, all right, fair enough. But that's me sticking to my process.
Yeah.
Because what if I just give him price and he's like, oh, that's way too freaking low.
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize that I've actually coached my buyers to price in like a 2% price jump. Like, it's a legit offer. It's one that he can't go, oh, they're just trying to lowball me because there's so much more. Like, you can't say that. So he goes, okay, fine. I said, send me your email address. And he's like, cool, just email me the offer. He tried again. I said, well, I need the net seller sheet. I'm going to get that from escrow. That's why I need to do it at Tuesday. He goes, fine. Yesterday, I'm going back and forth, giving him updates. Mr. Abdullah, I now have the net settlement sheet. I now have the pre-approval video letter. I now have all of the things to ensure that you can make a great decision. And the offer is almost finalized. I'll email you as soon as I have it complete. Thank you for your patience. Send him an email this morning before the meeting. Offers prepped, offers signed, everything's done. I do not send him pre-approval. I do not send him proof of funds. I do not send him offer. I don't send him any of that stuff because then it gives him price. Right now, I've got all the leverage. I'm the one that's done all the work. I'm the one that's doing all the updating, and he needs to know. He knows I'm serious at this point, and he wants to know price. So guess what? Now I deserve his attention because I've got a price for him. I can't tell you how many times I've personally made the mistake of feeling nervous that he's going to walk away or run. And so I give him the milk for free and then he never buys the damn cow.
Yeah.
I've done it a million times. And so now I used to get so pissed at myself that I literally would just be like, I don't give a shit if he walks away anymore. Like, I'd rather be like, cool, you ain't getting your milk. Walk away. I don't care. I'll sell the milk to somebody else. I don't care. Right?
Hey, Josh, would you say that guys that usually ask for the offer like that,
haven't really had their comp studied before?
No, most of these people, what you would be shocked at, Aaron, is I could give a listing presentation of how to present price and how to present the market update. And I would say Nathan, you were at that training. We had like 60 agents when Brian did his training on how to present the market. And he asked how many of you are doing it. What was it, like 70% of the group raise their hand and be like, oh, I've never even done that.
Yeah, most people don't really go over. Sometimes they go over comps, but it's very like, they might just send the comps, not even review them, and people can't really read it like how we do.
No, like they walk in and they're like, it's a nice house. One sold over there for 900. I'd do 905, 910. Like they don't go, okay, now this one has a bigger lot. This one has a bigger this one, right? And so that's part of the problem with real estate agents and why they don't get the trust and the influence with the clients. They just walk in and like grab this number out of the air and like, oh, let's list it at this, right? And then when they say, well, we wanted to list it for more, they skipped all the education steps. So now it's just, let's argue without the information. When I go through it, and I'll share the screen. When I go through it, I literally have the 91977 InfoSparks graphic, and I love it. It actually showed that Spring Valley is going down, which is not the case. It just is one of the number, but it showed it like, hey, here it is. Here's where we peaked. You were on the market here. So it came down, and that was the thing. This was an expired listing. He thought he was worth 700 about 6 months ago. So I not only had to convince him that this was a great offer, but first I had to convince him that, bro, you were overpriced. And I had to show him, hey, and you were coming down and it was a softening market. But the good news for you is we're back, right? And here's San Diego County. Here's San Diego County that's performing. And as I mentioned on the phone, so we're not back at the peak, but here's the trend line. And the reason why we're making such a strong offer is because of the listings are down. And we know that this is not their dream home, but man, will it fit all the boxes and stuff. So then I present all of that stuff to him, and I get him on the phone this morning and I go through it and I explain to him the market. I explain to him how much time I've educated these buyers. I explain to him my business process. And by the way, I did the meeting exactly like I look right now. Backwards hat, V-neck shirt, no logo, just very much coming at him, just in a very real fashion. I've already worked my ass off for him. I've already got him a great offer. He said he's this savvy investor. And now I've taken that and saying, cool, if you're a savvy investor, there's no way you can ignore me. There's no way you can argue with this not being a great offer. And so I presented the offer, the 800. I presented him the commission. I asked for 3%. He said, well, I'm probably not going to do 3, but I'll do 2.5. I said, perfect. That's great. I just wanted to make sure I got at least my 2.5. So I asked for 3. And presented the offer. And then at the end, he's like, all right, great. Well, I'm going to look over it. It all sounds really good. Got a couple of concerns. The commission 3%. I said, we'll do 2.5. We agree with that. He said, yeah. I said, great. I'll send it over. You sign that first. And then I said, I have the signed offer, by the way. And I showed it to him on Zoom. I said, I have the signed offer. Here's the signed offer. I'm sending you a copy of one because until I have the commission structure set up for this offer, I can't send you the executed offer to make it a binding agreement. We have to agree on the commission. He said, no problem. And I didn't say because I'm nervous you're not going to pay me. I said because as a practice of our business, anytime we do a deal, we make sure all expectations are handled up front. The expectation is that we agree at 2.5%. I'll do the listing side for $3,000 just because I want the statistics and to help you out. And I send him over all that stuff. And I got a video specifically from Eric talking to the homeowner in homeowner words so that I could get a whole presentation. At the end, I said, hey, can I ask you a question? He said, yes. I said, you've worked with a ton of agents. You've bought and sold a bunch of properties. I told you I had a legitimate buyer and that I was bringing you a great offer. Have I exceeded the expectations?
Yeah.
I'm going to close a little bit, right? Like I got to figure out where he's at on the offer. And he said, listen, man, I've worked with a lot of people. He's like, I've never met anybody that works as hard as you or updates as regularly as you. I've never met anybody that puts in this much effort. He goes, it's definitely not a bad offer. I don't know if I'd say it's great, but no, Josh, this is a good offer. It's a good offer. Great. When can I expect your follow-up? He said, I've got to decide. He goes, one thing we got to do is the 1031 exchange. He goes, we gotta find the property. I said, listen. He goes, and my nephew, who's an agent, we had him get his license because we do so much real estate. It makes sense for us to do that. And I said, you know what? I recognize that he's a newer agent. And I based on the conversations I had with you, I recognize that was probably the case, that he was a family agent, newer. I said, you know, one of the things I was thinking about is I found this property for my buyers and I did it in a week. You're going to go do an exchange. You're going to need somebody to help you find that property. I'd love the opportunity to showcase what we can do for you at finding the property. I said, shoot, I run an office. Maybe there's even synergy with your nephew hanging his license in my office, and I can give him some training, some coaching, and we can collaborate on the project together and everybody wins. He said, yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that. I said, do you have any other concerns about the offer? He said, no, it's just the exchange. He goes, I got to make sure do you need an exchange agent? I've got a phenomenal exchange agent that'll make sure everything gets lined up. So I closed out with, my buyers are excited. Tomorrow is her birthday. I'm looking to bring in an amazing deal. Call me with whatever you need. I'm standing by. Whatever we got to do to make this work for you and help you get that exchange, I'm all in. I want to build a relationship with you. I love working with people like you, and I will bring this level of excellence every time we communicate.